Everybody, presuming more than 5 people are going to watch this. Who knows? Or cares, really? My name's David. Like everybody else, I'm in, week 3, week 4, who the fuck knows, of COVID quarantine, and bored out of my mind. So after, some encouragement from several people, to do some kind of video blog or whatever, I'm taking the plunge. I started playing with NVIDIA's Shadow Play gameplay recording a couple of years ago, and have fallen head over heels in love with it. And recently, by recently I mean this morning, started tinkering with their audio commentary part of it, and figured, hey, stuck at home, bored, what the fuck. This is completely off the cuff. It could be great, could be awful, could be somewhere in between. It's my first attempt, so, whatever. I'm actually playing God of War on the PS4 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, good God. Divinity Original Sin 2 on the PC. But I've got this little gameplay section of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I've been embarrassingly unsuccessfully trying to record, and figured, hey, I mean, this might be a fun way to explore adding my stupid thoughts to my gameplay videos. I'm playing on the PC, as one does. One should be playing on a PC wherever possible because consoles are stupid. Home built. i7 8700K, 3.7 gigahertz, 32 gigabytes of RAM with a GeForce RTX 2080. Did not spring for the 2080 Ti because, figured I'd buy a new car instead. Gameplay graphics settings. Wow, David can talk. I've kind of adopted 1440p as my standard resolution. I did build this rig with 4K in mind, but walked away really kind of disappointed with the performance hit that you take when you're running it at ultra settings at 4K. Just not satisfied with the frame rate. So I've kind of dialed back and made 1440p my standard, and it really does do a good job at kind of splitting the difference. Again, David can talk, between just looking balls out awesome and running great. So I'm really liking 1440p. Some of my fellow hardware snobs will notice the low refresh rate, 60 hertz instead of 120 or whatever the fuck is 120. The trade-off is that the monitor, by the way, not TV, monitor is 43 inches and 4K, so, you guys can fuck right off. Try to run everything at Ultra. I did have an issue when I first got this game. I've never seen this before. I think it was volumetric lighting. It kind of looked like everybody had swallowed a flashlight, lens side up, and had turned it on, so everybody had light coming out of their throats. It was really weird. So I keep that off, and that's, I don't even know what causes it. All I know is it'll let me enjoy my game, so, the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy is really important to me. And some people probably scoff at this, but again, you guys can fuck right off. Gaming has come a really, really long way since Lara Croft first cartwheeled onto people's PlayStations. And there's not a whole lot of games that, and part of this is the current game's relationship to the older ones. There's not a whole lot of games that really demonstrate just how thoroughly gaming and gamers have really grown up. Part of that is the depiction of Lara herself. If you look at Lara Croft from the 90s, or even Tomb Raider Legend through Underworld, you know, she's a supermodel. You know, she's running around in, you know, Daisy Dukes, and she's got the twin guns and the tank top, and talking about the guns, by the way, not her breasts, but you know, you can take that wherever you want. They've really made her much more of a plausible character, and it really reflects how, you know, the people playing these games have grown up. You know, none of us are 15-year-old boys anymore. You know, so it really does demonstrate that very well. And we're gonna kind of get into that more as we play. Anyway, so let's go ahead and play. So basically, for those who have not played the game, this is mostly going to be spoiler-free. We are going to get to the Hidden City, so there's going to be some light spoilers. I may also discuss some story elements, so consider this your official spoiler warning. So if you have not played through Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you know, proceed at your own risk. I'm going to try to keep it as general as possible, but yeah. Alright, so we're going to start at Kuaku, and I have butchered that, no doubt. And we're going to go all the way through to when Laura and Jonah arrive at the Hidden City. So here we go. Let's get started. By the way, SSDs really help with load times. This one is a little bit longer, but yeah, I mean, I've definitely noticed a difference since upgrading from a standard spindle drive. Okay. So I just obviously want to take a couple of minutes to talk about Laura herself, considering this is really her story. First of all, oh my god, I mean, the work that's done with her character model is absolutely flabbergasting. Just the details of her skin, clothing, I mean, imperfections on her skin. If you look on her elbow, she's got a little cut on her elbow there. One technology that sounds really freaking stupid, but once you get used to it, you can't go back. Is this Hairworks? If you look at older games, or even, I mean, console games really, hair is kind of a single appliance. Maybe, you know, maybe the bangs will have some behavior, and you know, the ponytail will have some behavior, but it's really a single appliance. But what the Hairworks technologies do, and there are two of them, AMD's got one. At the time that the first Tomb Raider reboot game came out, it was called Hairworks, I think. It may have changed, I don't know. And NVIDIA's got one, and thank God they switched to NVIDIA's from AMD's in the last game, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Anyway, so I mean, but what it does is it renders every hair on her head individually. So every hair on her head has behavior. And it's I mean, again, going back to trying to play Tomb Raider 2013 with that system turned off, it literally hurts. It hurts the head. You know, and getting back to us talking about, you know, how games treat female characters. You know, sorry to the fourth wave. You know, I had this rehearsed and I completely blew it. Representation Nazis. There you go. She's not a fat blue-haired lesbian, but you know, she's not really a supermodel either. Frankly, she looks like someone who's been tromping around South America fighting a guerrilla war against a militarized cult, because that's what she's been doing. I mean, seriously, look at those muscles, damn it. You know, so I think that's a really impressive and a really important component to these games, is just how they depict, you know, Laura herself. You know, and you can also kind of see bits of her history here. You know, I mean, the bow, you know, she really had to learn how to become proficient in hell with the bow. So I really like how that has, how she's kept that. You know, I mean, if you look at the rest, and I can't use her guns at the moment because I'm in town, which I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, I really like how she has incorporated the bow into her combat style despite the fact that, I mean, she is going against dudes with guns, and you will note she's got a handgun there. But despite the fact that she's going up against guys with guns, and she has really become scary proficient with the bow. It's really interesting. And Laura herself, the trilogy, along with Uncharted 4, I say Uncharted 4 specifically, not talking about the 3 games before it, have really done a fantastic job of taking the kind of tried and true, Indiana Jones high concept silliness action adventure, and blending it with some very, very profound and very cool character work. Laura's quest throughout the trilogy, the first game really is kind of this awakening for her, where first of all she goes from a relatively well trained. I mean, she's not exactly a babe in the woods in the first game. Well trained person to it really kind of turns her into a badass and gives her the tools that she needs to move forward. But the other thing that it gives her, and this is also kind of a sign of the times for gaming, it gives her quote, superpower. And Laura's quote, and I say quote because, it's kind of a double-edged sword, her quote, superpower is to ignore pain, ignore trauma. And you see that throughout the trilogy, both her just shrugging off physical pain, but more importantly, shrugging off psychological pain. For decades, we watched video game player characters or, protagonists or heroes, pick a term, overcoming physical external threats. And that's fine. And there's plenty of that in this game, as you're going to see. But what really sets these games apart, and again, I'm also pointing to Uncharted 4 because they did something very similar with Nate in Uncharted 4. Her overcoming her internal existential threats is just, it's 100 times more interesting. And in Laura's case, I really do think there's some continuity in this certainly between Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. With her, she is really seeking absolution for herself internally for how she treated her dad. Now, bear in mind that this is a person who, as a teenager, young kid, walked in on her dad right after, he had, quote, committed suicide. We know, of course, that Trinity had him killed. And, that kind of trauma can really, really, and this is a stupid understatement. And by the way, official disclaimer, I am not a mental health professional. Actually, what would be awesome is going through these 3 games with a mental health professional, kind of see how far off my base I am. And the other point I want to make is this is not Hellblade. It's not like they did a boatload of research into mental health. This is not, Laura is not a poster child for how to deal with mental health. Quite the opposite, as we're about to talk about here. But it really, that kind of trauma can really affect you. And how she kind of dealt with that, and this is covered, this is kind of me reading between the lines. You may play this game and come with a completely different conclusion. Who knows? And kind of the way that she dealt with that growing up was, well, at least he was nuts. At least he was crazy. He was disturbed, right? And then you go through the first game and she realizes, oh my God, this guy wasn't nuts. I wrote this guy off. I wrote my dad off, and he wasn't nuts. And you really see that in Rise of the Tomb Raider, where she is trying to deal with how she treated her dad. And, her way of dealing with it is not dealing with it, is, going on this globe-trotting, very dangerous mission to not clear, it's not really to clear his name, but to find forgiveness for herself for how she treated her dad. And that's, I mean, wow. And then obviously, she finds out at the end of Shadow or Rise of the Tomb Raider that no, he didn't kill himself, that, Trinity had him killed. And so that really kind of launches her on her, this mission that you see her in Shadow. and she's doing what she does. You know, she ignores physical and emotional trauma throughout the game, and at the end of it, you know, and this is again drifting into spoiler territory. You know, she kind of has a breakdown at the end of the game, and of course, you know, she's got Jonah there to kind of pick her back up and jumpstart her and get her, you know, because Jonah's role in this game is really the emotional support. You know, and I think the character work, and I'm gonna wrap this up so we can get moving. But you know, the character work here is just really fantastic, and it's aided by currently the best deployment of performance capture technology that I've seen. Now, of course, Naughty Dog is, knock on wood, put my mic down to my desk so you can hear me knocking, gonna release The Last of Us Part 2 here at some point, and they are the industry leader when it comes to performance capture. So I suspect that that this game is gonna get topped in the performance capture arena very soon. Anyway, so yeah, this is currently the best deployment of performance capture in a game right now. So, you know, this game has switched. So Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider were both developed by Crystal Dynamics, who is, hopefully everybody watching this knows, is the company that took over development of the Tomb Raider games in 2006 with Tomb Raider Legend. This game has switched development to Eidos Montreal, who again, obviously people are going to know are the ones that do the Deus Ex. That's Deus Ex, by the way, not Deus Ex, perverts. And there's it definitely, the change in development specifically to that developer definitely shows in good ways and bad. And we're going to be, oh my God, look at that water. Oh, hey kid. Wow. Anyway, both good and bad. And we're going to kind of get into the good and bad as we go. But, you know, the bad is, first of all, these hub cities. They kind of feel empty and robotic and tacked on. I was not really impressed with the hub cities. There's two of them, this one and the Hidden City, I think, and no doubt someone will correct me rudely on that. It doesn't jive well with me. And the other system in there that's kind of related is the side quest system. They really expanded the side quests that were present in Rise of the Tomb Raider, but are much more prevalent in Shadow. And in the worst possible way, they feel like a Deus Ex game. Where you kind of got Laura standing stiffly at attention talking to somebody, and oh, my kid's lost, and you need to go save him. Blah. It didn't really, it hurt the pacing of the game, and it doesn't really feel like Tomb Raider. I like the fact that they tried something new, and good lord, look at that lighting with the trees. Anyway, I like that they tried something new. I just wasn't really digging what they came up with. So let's get this show on the road, because I've been running my mouth. Seriously, look at how the lighting is interacting with her skin.
Jonah,
I mean, that's really crazy.
I found ruins, but I think the foundation of the temple is older.
Yeah, Abby remembered where she saw that symbol. It's inside the temple somewhere.
Great. Tell her thank you for me.
I'm right here. You can thank me by not breaking anything.
I'll be right there, Laura.
You know, and we just talked to Jonah, and, you know, which brings up a really good point. You know, the problem with Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and to an extent this one, and it gets better with each game. The side characters, the supporting cast, for the most part, is just not interesting. You know, the crew of the Endurance in Tomb Raider 2013, Jonah included, were really just, I mean, stereotypes. I mean, you had the best friend, you had the crazy old guy, you had the large tattooed, overly philosophical dude, Jonah. You had the nerd who had the crush on Laura. You know, it was very archetypal, and it got better in Rise, but everybody just kind of still felt like background noise. And then here we get to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and we're gonna go into a cutscene here in a minute, which is gonna bring up another problem I have too, as regards to Laura's equipment. Speaking of which, we'll get there in a second. Anyway, Jonah is awesome in this one, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Jonah is a Naughty Dog level NPC in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Everybody else, though, is just kind of there. And honestly, I mean, just not interesting. So here we see my problem. Where did her bow go? If you looked at a lot of the... And now, okay, here's that amazing performance capture that I was talking about. Yeah, I know I'm jumping around a bit. Fucking deal with it.
On the outside.
Here's that amazing performance capture that I was just talking about. The way that this game captures subtle emotional expression is just balls out amazing. Anyway, equipment. If you read some of the interviews from Crystal Dynamics when they took over, developing Tomb Raider Legend, a design goal was that all of Laura's equipment would be visible on her person.
What?
Her guns, her grappling hook, and all that junk.
I'm not breaking it.
I'm
restoring.
In this one, you'll notice the empty holster there.
Hide it.
All of her equipment disappears in cutscenes. And in a second, we're gonna kind of cycle through her main weaponry.
Come together. Before following the
and it's really
path
disappointing
of the
because it
living.
kind of takes you out of the game a little bit.
It's been tampered with. Like that thing in Mexico.
This must lead to the next clue.
Go. I'll stay here. See what else I can find.
Sounds good.
Yeah, see, there's the missing bow again.
The twins. Life and death. Jonah, I found the temple.
Great.
Trinity already there, trying to blast their way in. I'm gonna take a closer look.
What about that sounds like? And there's the bow. So, if you watch her cycle through her main weapons, I don't have a shotgun yet because the storyline hasn't given me one yet, but you switch to the bow. It was probably out of necessity, but I wish that, and this was an issue throughout Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise. I wish that the assault rifle, the shotgun, and the bow stayed on her back. Video game logic, I get it. It's just, it takes you out of the game. Kind of like the new crafting system that they implemented. It's really basic, and it doesn't really kind of swing its stick around like it very easily could have. Kind of like the side quests in this one. And it just... And there's another thing that annoys the crap out of me. There's got to be a setting or something that they implemented in a patch, but IGN noted it in their review. At this point in the game, you should not be seeing tooltips. At this point in the game, the game should be trusting you to know how the systems work, and I find that really annoying. That being said, I'm about to fuck up the swan dive. Something about pressing the A and the B at the same time. My fingers are just retarded. So here we go. Let's get wet. That came out wrong. All right. Oh, hey, look at that! Swan dive! I really liked Crystal Dynamics talking about the underwater sections. This one is really benign, but they got a lot of complaints from players about their games lacking the underwater sections from the previous games. Looking at you, Tomb Raider 2. And they said, okay, fine, we'll give you what you want, but be careful what you wish for. And some of the underwater sections are really, really awful. They're really just uncomfortable. She's crawling through tight spaces. She's got eels and crap, trying to kill her. It really kind of contributes to the horror elements of the game. And I really liked that attitude. Even though, and there is going to be one coming up, I believe, where she's got to crawl through an underwater trench. It's really unpleasant, and I really like that approach that they took. Excuse me. No COVID, I swear. And yeah, so and I'm starting to ramble. So coming up, we've got a little bit of combat, which may go well, which may not. I don't know. This is totally off the cuff. Ah, piranha. Just kidding. Here we go. Combat. I feel like we should be holding our breaths right now.
Unexpectedly heavy and sharp.
Your mom was
Looks
unexpectedly
okay,
heavy.
I'm glad you're here. We have a problem.
Jenny again?
You know,
I'm on.
NPC chatter is something that I really hate. Here we're about to see. Oh, here's a excellent benefit of the Eidos Montreal team. The takedowns are just awesome, and Laura has really evolved into this just brutal killer. And here we're gonna kind of use our survival instinct, whatever, to cheat a little bit. And here we go. And there's no point in staying quiet. Nice! Kind of a little bit of failure on the ragdoll physics there, guys. Alright, switch back to the bow. A few more arrows. Now see, he just looks like he's passed out. You know, I've know people who have had Friday nights worse than that. Slacker. Okay. Now, you know, the auto cover, when they first introduced that in Tomb Raider 2013, you know, my first response was, oh shit, oh no, you know, this is going to be a mess. But thankfully it works really well for the most part. You know, Laura does a really good job at keeping low and sticking, not sticking, I mean, you're not stuck to stuff, but sticking to cover really well, and I was really surprised by that.
You okay?
Yeah, there's a Trinity base here.
Hey, Jonah, what happened here? I said don't break anything.
Whoops.
Hey, Abby, I can explain. I'll get back to you later, Lara. Don't do anything crazy.
Oh, you mean like waging a one-woman commando war in the middle of South America? You know, malaria. Just saying. Just saying, Jonah. That was a little. That was. I think we should have thought that line a little bit through when we were writing it. Just saying. You know, coming up, we got the much touted, whatever, ability to smear, and there we go with the tooltips again. Smear mud on ourselves. You know, I like the idea, and it really contributes to this view of Laura that she's this terrifying force of nature. But it's contextual as butts. I wish you could use it. And kind of determine how you use it and where you use it, kind of like the exosuit in Crisis 1. But you know, small complaints.
Aye, sir. If I can ask, sir,
Let's see another one of these really cool takedowns. Oh, dude.
Was there any indication what might be happening before we lost contact?
Moving his ass. You know, that's another thing about, you know, how games have kind of grown up. Excuse me for 1 second.
This fucking place.
How it treats violence is really... Oh, there he goes. I was going to try to do another takedown, but he noticed me. How it treats violence is really impressive. It's not realistic. Don't get me wrong. It's not realistic as it should be. Nobody wants realism here. But you get, over the course of the game, you do definitely get to see how what she is doing impacts her psychology.
Shouldn't we send someone down to look
really
for them?
treats the violence with care and respect. And that's something that is thankfully becoming a thing in games. Took him down. And it's just another kind of indicator of how both the audience and the medium are growing up, or at least we were until you fuckheads started diving into Fortnite like nobody's business. Thanks for that, by the way. Yeah. You know, one thing that they're talking about with The Last of Us 2 is changing how stealth works. And I'm really looking forward to that. Because stealth in this game is really rudimentary and basic.
Something did go wrong. We should assume it could be anything.
Looking forward to The Last of Us 2 hopefully changing that.
Feels like we went from an Amber Alert in a known area to a
Oh, and there's another dude.
Been overreacting to
It's just
things
painful.
since that storm hit.
Pretty sure that wouldn't be that quiet in real life, by the way. But again, video game logic. Down. Yes, I do have the perk which highlights the headshots, by the way. You know, yes, Laura is the primary threat against Trinity, and oh my God, she's hunting us. On one hand, does kind of make sense.
Hair on the back of my neck standing up.
Well, yeah, that's about to get worse, buddy. You know, but I don't know. I mean, it kind of gets back to what I was saying about NPC chatter. That's one thing that these action games really, and by the way, the Fallen Order did a pretty good job of it, mostly, of really kind of switching it up. Honestly, NPC chatter has not changed in 20 years, really.
He ordered Trinity to lock down a dig site below
it's one innovation, again, sorry. The Last of Us 2 that I'm looking forward to hopefully changing the industry as a whole where that's concerned. Alright, let's jump into a hole. Alright. You know, and this is another thing that kind of bugs me. You know, it really speaks to Laura's ability to improvise, but, you know, attaching your rope to your climbing axe like that, it wouldn't work. For one thing, how would she recover it? I know, video game logic. It's one of those things that just kind of momentarily takes me out of the game. And, you know, yeah, I know that there's nothing here, and it's weird that I'm walking with my gun out, you know, but, I don't know, whatever, you're right. And the soundtrack really does an excellent job at communicating atmosphere in this one. It's not God of War, which I think might have my favorite soundtrack of any game ever, but it is definitely a noticeable improvement over the last two games. Not that the last two games were bad by any stretch, but definitely an improvement. Yay, puzzle time.
Jonah, I made it inside the temple.
I think we found something here too. Some numbers. I'm gonna clear it off.
Yeah, I would really love to, and I don't know, maybe somebody has studied this crap, but I would really like to see the real life inspiration for you know, all these traps and puzzles and junk, you know, because I can't believe that ancient cultures, yeah, I'm aware they didn't have Facebook or Twitter, but I can't believe that ancient cultures just sat around like, how can I make it really complicated? Open this door, you know, just I don't know.
The numbers on the pillars look like the first half of dates.
It's another one of those things that just pulls me out of the game. And you know, it might be an accurate symbol. I don't know, nor do I care. But tell me that doesn't look like a cookie. It looks like a cookie, doesn't it? Damn it! No, I want cookies. Thanks, Tomb Raider. Love the dust effects. The doors open. And love how the dust effects interact with Laura herself. Good lord, look at that. And of course we have the obligatory rock collapse. You know, it's a lot more harrowing than Uncharted. You know, in Uncharted, you know, by the time that happens to you, by like the 560th time, you know, it kind of gets to a point where you can predict when you're gonna, you know, hit a ledge or cross a bridge or something that's gonna collapse. The trilogy really does, the Tomb Raider trilogy really does a better job at doing that in such a way, and it's not just the fact that it does it, it's the overall presentation, but it does a much better job at making that part of the experience of making it harrowing. Uncharted, unfortunately, does feel a smidge tacked on. Okay, so is anybody else having a get smart moment here? Because, you know, I'm kind of having a get smart moment here. You know, with all the doors. Alright, and push the switch.
Damn, I should have known.
Shit.
Too close.
That is how you mess up a puzzle. Oh, right, we need the cookie.
Cookie Monster!
Alright, that was lame. Sorry. And 3 dots. PSA. In order to solve the puzzle, it usually helps to work the puzzle. Just saying. And again, lighting. I mean, oh my god. Look at how kind of the muted lighting interacts with Laura herself.
Another door.
And the dust on Laura. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. This is really fantastic. He says as if it's the first time he's seen it. Alright. $5 says we need another cookie. And then the bone. No, it's not a bone. Whatever.
Jonah, any progress?
There's an incomplete date and a depiction of Jacques Shell.
I have 2 dates here, and E-Shell. I think I've seen the date on the left somewhere. The photo from Cozumel. Maybe there's a clue. In the Maya long count calendar, all dates have 5 numbers. This numeral was damaged to look like a 13. But what if it's really an 8? That's a 2,000-year difference, and the constellations would be in a completely different position. So the star path would lead west to somewhere in Peru.
So now we just have to... You know, I've never gotten this part. You just gotta twitch it until she has her epiphany.
The last number on the
there it
left
is.
pillar is 0. The last number of the left pillar should be a 0.
Yeah, I know it's a 0, but god damn it looks like a cookie.
Okay, Jonah. What's the final number for Jacques Shell?
A line across with 2 dots on top of it. 7, I think.
Thanks.
And that, judging by the musical cue, should be that. Find out. Dun dun dun.
That's it.
You know, the art direction in this game is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's been good in the previous two, but they really just cranked it to 12.
Hey, Lara. It's Abby.
Oh, hey, Abby. I found a mural. It seems to depict some kind of journey. Entering through a jaguar mouth follows a serpent toward a silver eye.
Uh-huh.
On the way, there's a spider and an eagle that rises toward a temple.
Okay, I don't know about most of that, but the jaguar mouth is back this way.
Really?
Yeah. Cat sculpture, big teeth. Oh, here. He's back.
Lara, you okay?
Yeah, I'm heading back.
Good. I think you're gonna like this.
Whatever.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Alright, so this is kind of one of the underwater sections that I was talking about. There's piranha in there, might die, and I don't remember if there's eels or not, or if that's in the next one. Either way, here we go. Let's see if I botch another swan dive. Nope. Again with the tooltips. Well, this is the first time we're seeing this, so I guess that makes sense. There are the piranha. I'm pretty sure they probably would see her anyway. You know, again, video game logic. I can't believe there are this many air pockets. And I know there's a herd around here somewhere. That was close. Let it pass. Let them pass. I don't know how well that translates on the mic. You know, we'll see. And go. Shit, 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 shit. That was definitely closer than I'd like. Yeah, I know. Damn, she can hold her breath. And we managed to make it through without getting eaten by the piranha. Good lord, look at that lighting there. Jeez. So as people who have played the game will be able to spot there, yes, I keep everything on normal exploration, combat, and the other one's traversal related somehow. So you can see the white indicating that I can do that.
Hey! Jesus. Don't do that.
Sorry. Anybody else make it?
Fuck the final.
About to use our newfangled takedown
Base camp.
here.
This is Omicron team. We've been ambushed. Base camp, come in.
Anything?
Quiet. I need to hear.
still can't. Holy Christ. They're here! Come on, you bastards.
What are they so afraid of?
I don't know, maybe a bow-flinging brunette stomping through the forest, killing all of them? Maybe. Again, maybe a little bit more common sense in the writer's room, guys. Thanks, that'd be great.
Shit, I lost my radio in the crash.
Nope. There's a tweaker. Math! Give me math!
What was that?
It was a tweaker, I just told you. Aren't you listening?
Where's our backup?
They just got eaten by a tweaker.
Then tell him to hurry, goddammit!
Super sneaky squirrel. Danger. It's usually bad. There goes the bow again.
I'm warning you! Stay the fuck away from me!
Easy. Calm down. Can you tell us what happened?
All I saw... claws.
Alright, let's just do a traditional knifing.
Some
Whoop.
consideration here.
Again, God, those takedowns are just awesome.
Bones.
It's over. You're safe.
Alright, so
It's
here,
all right.
yeah,
It's
we're
all
gonna
good.
stay quiet as long as we can, but at some point we are gonna have to whip out the assault rifle, not a euphemism, and go loud.
Dead.
You okay now?
Got one. By the way, the yellow indicates that I can kill them without
wait it out until
attracting
the
the
reinforcements
attention.
arrive.
You know, my my first time playing this, I took the bow to the dude up there. Well, he's wearing a helmet, and the only thing that the first bow shot does is knock his helmet off. So he's getting saved until we go loud. And by go loud, by the way, I mean start shooting. And I think, I think it's that
What are we even
time.
looking for?
Let's start with Alright. Now we start to have some fun. Back off, stalker! Whoa. I'm not too terribly fond of her scramble animation, for the record. Eagle!
Arrival is imminent.
Oh, in the face!
We're here. Give us 60 seconds and we're in.
You men form a perimeter.
You form a perimeter. Tweaker's got him.
All full up. Can't come anymore. What are those creatures?
Again, tweakers. I just talked about that.
There has to be a way out of here. Maybe in the direction they came from.
What? Switch back to... Whoa, we need some more arrows, man. Alright. Well, that doesn't look bad at all.
God, bodies everywhere. The creatures killed them. But why? Jonah, Abby,
Hey, Laura?
I saw something. Trinity is being hunted by some kind of creature.
What?
It made hissing sounds and moved so fast.
Lara, that sounds like the legend of the Pistaco. You pulling our legs?
No, I know what I saw.
Are you safe?
Yeah, I'm on my way back.
So all these dudes are wearing black combat boots, and here we have a tan one. Inconsistency, or did the dude just... Nope, they probably got dragged into the bushes. Never mind. Blood trail there. Yeah. Dude, seriously, the detail in the water. I'm kind of geeking out, sorry. Maybe I should shoot that. Doubt it. But I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, we're done. Who just leaves this lying around here? I mean, seriously. Where am I going? There we go.
Jonah?
We're downstairs. Hey,
Have you been down there?
we were waiting for you. What do you think we'll find?
The mural showed a series of trials.
Well, that's awkward.
I may know another way around. Okay, I'll go ahead, meet you on the other side.
Wow, lighting. Again, look at how that's interacting with the skin on her shoulder. That's really, and her hair. I mean, this just looks really freaking cool. Sorry, geeking out again. All right, let's fuck up another swan dive. Whee! All right, so this part has one of them super uncomfortable underwater portions I was talking about. You know, one of the functions of these three games is really to de-glamorize what Lara is doing. And you know, these sections where she's crawling through a really tight space, especially underwater, really kind of the biggest no thank you moments I think I've ever experienced in a video game. You know, if you come out the other side of this game thinking I want to be Lara Croft when I grow up, yeah, I'm sorry, you're fucked. And there's an eel who is no doubt going to see me. Or that one. Not an insta-death, thankfully, like the piranhas. Jesus. Thankfully, there is an air pocket right there. you know, they really did a fantastic job with the horror element. I mean, through atmospheric solely. Thankfully, there are no, you know, screaming teenagers.
Jonah, I've come out in some sort of cabin.
But
There
it's
are
really
signs that people
dark
have
and
been
atmospheric, and you know, also,
here. Jonah?
you know, the way Laura herself acts, and it really kind of, you know, reflects her more, you know, it makes her more violent mindset kind of part of that horror kind of motif. So, all right, and there we got our white chalk, so that means we can jump on it. You know, and the platforming in the reboot trilogy, I touched on it earlier, but now that we're really going to be doing it, and we're going to be really doing it here in a minute when she gets the giant, you know, wind turbine thing. The platforming in the trilogy is so much better than Uncharted, and it's unfortunate that the Uncharted methodology to platforming is really kind of the standard. There's kind of a distance between you and Nate, kind of a layer of oh, for God's sakes,
Jonah,
get off the environment.
If you can hear me, I think I'm still on the path at the spider trial. I'm gonna get to the top.
There's really kind of a disconnect or a distance because of a layer of unreality between you and Nate when Nate is platforming. Not the case with Laura here. It's in part due to the level design. It's in part due to the cinematic presentation. Climbing in these three games, in the three Tomb Raider reboot games, just feels not only more tactile, but and especially in this game, a lot more dangerous. Like she's just barely making it, you know, by the skin of her teeth. And I really appreciate that more. You know what I mean? And coming out of Fallen Order, unfortunately subscribed to the Uncharted methodology for platforming, and in especially pairing that game's combat, which is just bloody awesome, with the kind of hands-off platforming was a pretty serious disappointment for me with that one. Again, dude, friggin' tooltips. I see the frickin' stuff I can attach to. And nice! I don't need tooltips, but I'll fuck up. Alright, so here we go again. Try to get through this part again quickly. No idea what my file size on this video is going to be. Shudder to think. Alright, let's... up. Alright, let's see if we can do this without fucking up this time. Thank you! And here we go. Trial of the Eagle.
Incredible. Jonah, I'm at the next trial. The Eagle. It has something to do with the wind.
I'm still tracking west, heading downward now.
Don't fall
Underground
down
River.
here. Just constantly taken aback at the graphics work in this game. Yeah, you know, they
Still
really,
standing after centuries of earthquakes. and
really
storms.
outdone themselves in puzzle design. One kind of constant, more so in Rise and Shadow than Tomb Raider 2013. There wasn't a lot of traditional Tomb Raider-y stuff in Tomb Raider 2013, but you know, one thing that I really appreciate about the puzzles in this one is it's not, you don't really have an aha moment how to solve it. It's more, okay, well, we're gonna pull on this strand and see what happens, and then you know, move on to the next strand, and it's very kind of iterative. You know, getting, you know, the goal, by the way, is to get up to the top there. It's very iterative to solve these puzzles. So hats off, I guess. And no, this is not my first time doing this. You know, I think I'll stick to IT, Laura. Not really in the market for your job, thanks, at this particular moment in time.
Might be a ladder if it was the right way up.
I mean, just getting from point A to point B in this room at any given moment, you kind of got to stop and, okay, do this, then do that, then do this, then do that, so on and so forth. Really, really impressive. Nope. Really impressive level in puzzle design. You know, and another thing that's just head and shoulders above the old Tomb Raider games, and I've got a buddy who would find me saying this just funny as hell. The camera is a lot more cooperative with what Laura's doing. There were times, I mean, even as far forward as Tomb Raider Underworld, where the camera just quit and went home. You know, whereas it's really, really tight and responsive. Starting with the first game of the trilogy. So the new addition to Shadow, the ability to wall run and jump, don't die. Thank you. Really deployed well, if you ask me, for the most part. Alright. Rope.
This looks promising.
Don't die. Wait for it. That may or may not be necessary, but you know, I don't want to take chances. And there's our white paint.
Got it.
Whew. Time this right. Up. And up.
Can't climb this one yet. More sails.
You know, again, I know they didn't have smartphones and Twitter and Facebook and, you know, video games back then. You guys had way too much time on your hands. shit. I would be dead at this point, for the record. I guess I should say I would be dead by this point, for the record. And made it.
That was close.
Rope, rope.
This might work.
Yeah, there's no way that's staying open.
Damn. The lever is too worn to hold the door.
Ah.
Yes, that'll hold.
There's our...
There. Good. The ladder should turn now.
That don't look good. All right.
Got to find another way up.
White paint up there. It's got to get around the giant spinny death thingies. And nope. I think I died here before. So gonna be... Aha! More white paint. See? I even did it without a tooltip. You hear that, Eidos? No tooltips.
Maybe I can climb the machinery.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Who knows? Alright. How much you want to bet? Again, you see that? No tooltips required.
One more climb.
Huh. Yeah, again, you know, it's a solid pass. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Alright.
Huracan, face to face in a temple built in your honor.
Yeah, at this point I don't even wait for the X prompts. Which I guess does contradict a little bit what I was talking about, you know, if it's staying fresh, but just counting. Well, this looks fun.
Careful. Jonah, I'm past the Eagle trial. I must be closing in on the Hidden City.
Again, lighting. Oh my god. Okay. Where am I going? Ah, white paint. That doesn't look safe. Alright. Bam. Okay, you know, traditionally this part, I screw up and die at least once, so
Jonah?
that might happen.
The view up here is amazing.
To say the least,
Hidden
yes.
City must be near.
Laura, I made it through. I'm entering a cavern.
Jonah? Damn.
You know, and this is again one of those great moments playing this game where you're like, you know, I'm glad I'm an IT guy and not tromping around in Peru. This is again just a giant no thank you moment, and again a giant tooltip. Thanks. I mean I can't even properly express how disinterested in spelunking this game makes me. Yeah, I'm aware that it's sensationalized, but still, no thanks. So, here we go. This is generally where I screw up and die. And we did it again. Get to see an excellent death animation and a loading screen. Alright, let's try this again. Nope, twice! Wow, that typically doesn't happen. David sucks. He really, really sucks. Alright. Third time's the charm? Yep. Well, now we just have to make the rest. You know, my heart is in my throat right now. Just, again, just a giant bloody no thank you moment. Really a testament to the game designers that, I mean, I'm safely in my computer chair and, you know, my arm muscles are really tense right now. really a good job at the suspension of disbelief.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah, no shit, lady. Alright. Let's see if we can do this without dying!
Oh, shit! Can't stay here.
Again, no shit, Sherlock! God damn it! Here we go! Fuck, 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 fuck! Ooh.
It's giving way.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, and I still freaked out. And we're safe. Whew.
That was close.
No, that was psychotic, is what that was. Ooh, sweaty palms. Okay, again with the tooltips. Boom. There's malaria in that water, by the way.
All right.
Dear God! See, again, lighting at the top of her head, and look at the waterfall. Oh my God! Sorry guys, just stopping to geek out for a minute. All right, moving.
Jonah, I may have found it. The hidden city. I'm gonna look for the serpent with a silver eye.
No, I'm gonna look for the mission waypoint, actually. That don't sound good. And hey, her bow made it into the cutscene for a change.
Hello? I can help you.
Get back! You don't belong here!
Listen, I know it hurts,
It is not St. Patrick's Day.
Trinity.
Why do they keep their symbols on their codpiece? Just wondering.
Thank you.
Who are you? What's your purpose here?
I'm a researcher. Lara Croft.
They'll be back. We must find safety. Bring her. You're not only my son, you're my heir. You must not court unnecessary danger. Had you not been there, would this woman have found us? I'm glad you're safe. If you're not with the cult, how did you find this place?
I followed a map from a temple. I was expecting ruins, not you or any of this. The cult. Why did they attack your son? I recognize their insignia. I know them as Trinity. I'm trying to stop them.
Stop them from doing what?
They're looking for an artifact. Some sort of box connected to a moon goddess.
Why do you want it? To steal it? Sell it?
No. I just can't let Trinity, the cult, get to it first. They're too dangerous.
You know,
Why?
that's another thing
have they done to
that's
you?
really interesting
They killed
about
my father.
Laura's view of the world. Trinity's bad. I mean, they're the bad guys
Can I
for sure.
show you something?
But she's got this like, you know, she sees herself as the superhero and sees them as kind of the supervillain, and it's really interesting throughout the story. How that view is challenged by, you know, and she just did it there, you know, and also how it gets her into trouble. I mean, the inciting incident is really Lara fucking up and unleashing a Mayan
Do you
apocalypse.
think your artifact is there?
Definitely kind of falls back into deepening the kind of
No one
typical
who has gone has ever returned.
Indiana Jones adventure
willing to
experience.
try.
You know, the role of the hero is always kind of depicted as infallible, but in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I mean also Uncharted 4 again, you know, to an extent, the main character is very, very fallible.
Jonah.
And it definitely adds
noticing?
dimension that's
He's my
definitely
best
not
friend.
there in traditional action
Abby.
adventure stories,
She's fine.
Who else is looking for you?
and makes it more compelling.
There's no one else.
I believe we're seeking the same thing. We will bring you to the serpent with the silver eye, but we'll keep your friend here. You won't get very far if you're lying, and he will not be comfortable.
You don't need to do that.
It's fine. I'll stay.
Itzli, get this woman some clothes.
I just finished Eureka like 10 minutes ago. Not 10 minutes ago, but
be back
and that
as soon as I
really looks like Allison Blake from that show. That just totally hit me in the face just now.
Pretty nice place.
Quiet.
Ooh, someone's gone native. There's that absolutely fantastic performance capture technology at work again. Gesundheit. I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, that's the chunk of gameplay that I wanted to record and share and talk about and whatevs. You know, I mean, the whole trilogy is available on Steam, as it should be played. Giving you the finger, the dad finger, not the middle finger. But it is also available on consoles. Shadow is not available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, so if you're playing on that, you're going to be left behind. I would definitely recommend, if you are playing on console, playing it on a PS4 or an Xbox One. The trilogy is really fantastic and really worth a look, as we've kind of talked about. So thanks for hanging out and letting me run my goddamn mouth. No idea what's gonna come of this. There might be more videos, I don't know, or this could be it. Gonna show it to some people and get some feedback. So later, bitches.